finally I'm on. I didn't think I was going to get on. I have to tell you, I don't look so hot today. It's not me. It was last night. I'll have to tell you about that in a minute. First of all, I want to tell you about yesterday, because that has its own adventures. First of all, I had my issues yesterday with, as many tolls. I could not believe how many tolls I had. So when I left the hotel yesterday, what do you think I came across first? You got it. It was a toll. I just had so I'm really kind of nervous because I see this thing that says there were 3 lanes and 2 of them had this odd symbol, and the middle one I thought it said cash, and then I got up to it, and the place where there's no backing up, and it said coins, and I didn't have enough coins. I'm searching for everything. I can't find the coins. So I said, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I decided to take $1 out. By this time, there was a lady behind me, and I'm thinking, oh my God, she's going to be so mad because I'm not moving. I figured, well, I'll ask her if she's got change. So I got out of the car, and would you believe it? There was enough change that somebody had tried to get into the hopper but missed it, that I had enough change for the toll. I mean, that was so exciting. So I'm thinking one of the things we want to think about is counting our blessings, because that sure as heck was a blessing. And, my trip being about healing and everything. And when you're in real deep grief, you cannot always see blessings. So just the fact even that I'm really starting to realize that even little things are blessings. Just because things don't turn out the way you want doesn't mean there aren't blessings there for you. Okay, so that one's down. And okay, and then I went and I had breakfast with my friends, and it was so nice. And that's that part about drive, pray, because they prayed with me and they helped me to affirm the good, and I got those healing hugs that were so precious. And so that was a very, very good part of my day. Then I headed off to Unity in Oak Park. And it was such a lovely experience, and it was so peaceful. And then most of you, if you look at my regular Facebook feed, you know that I left a rock there. So, and it was neat because the one that I pulled out, I don't know who did it, had like a compass on it. So what better place for a compass than a church, right? And I also left a copy of my book for the bookstore manager. None of the ministers or bookstore managers are available in this area right now because it is their conference, Great Lakes Region conference. So guess what? They're not there, but it doesn't matter because God's in charge, and everything that needs to be out there is getting out there. So then after I leave there, one of the things on my to-do list was to have a genuine Chicago deep dish pizza in Chicago. So I did my research. I found, the best place. It was confirmed in a couple of places. So I said, okay, I'm going to, I think it's called Giordino's. And I went and I waited with anticipation for it to come. And it came, and no big deal. I mean, maybe if you live in Chicago and it's your thing, it's a big deal. But the thing is, the crust is more like pie dough than pizza crust. And it's stuffed for sure with more cheese than any human being should consume. And then they put the top crust on, and then they put sauce on that. So that top crust never really gets cooked. So if you're into that, and that brings me to another point about this traveling when you decide to take a trip. Don't forget your Tums, because you never know where you're going to find something that you eat that doesn't agree with you, whether you like the food or not. Not everything agrees. So here I could only eat a half of that pizza, and I'm going, what am I going to do with the other half? I can't store it. I can't do anything with it. I can't throw it out. So I said, well, I'll take it with me to my hotel tonight, and just maybe I will, I'll get hungry enough to eat it. And so I put it in my insulated bag in the back of my car, and I took off. And I'm thinking, I remember the days when I would be able to hand food to the homeless people when I lived in more, city areas. And I said, oh, that's too bad I didn't think of it. Well, wouldn't you know, we come to a place where there's a guy on the street who's panhandling. And it's at this kind of light. It's a traffic light where you're merging onto a big highway. So it turns red, stop, green, go. Red, stop, green, go. So the cars go out. When your light turns green, go for it. So I'm sitting in the car. I'm trying to drive. I'm reaching behind me. I'm trying to get my hand into that damn bag, unzip it, get the food out, and I couldn't. And one of the reasons I didn't just take my time and stop and let the light go was I figured the person in the car behind me, they would get mad and toot their horn, and nobody wants to make anybody mad. So I went. And then I thought that was wrong because the person behind me wasn't hungry. The person on the side of me was. Well, I sure as heck wouldn't turn around going back. So I kept going a little ways down the road. Oh my God, there's another guy, and I couldn't stop fast enough. And so, sure enough, I get in. Where do I wind up? In Chicago with all that lousy traffic. But the good news is, I got to a light. There's a man sitting on the road with a boombox, and he's putting his head back and forth like Stevie Wonder, and he's singing something like Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. And my heart warmed, and I opened the window. He was on the passenger side. I opened the window, and I go, "You want some food?" And he was happy. He bounced up, and he got that pizza, and we blessed each other. And it felt so good that he would enjoy the food. It wouldn't wind up in the trash. So that was, and you know what? Giving is so good. I was so disappointed when I couldn't give. So I really encourage everybody to find ways to give however they can. And so then, like Chicago had to give me one last kick in the butt before I left. And I was looking for the sign that says Start Historic 66. Well, it was nowhere to be found. So what I had to do was take a picture where it said End Historic Route 66. So I did that rather than have some kind of accident in this horrific traffic. I hope you guys can hear me because I'm in Starbucks and I'm right near a speaker, and I tried to get away. I moved from one place to the other, but I'm hoping that you can get it. Okay. All right. Oh, so now we get to my next little piece called Don't Judge by Appearances. And I will be posting these pictures so you see them. It was getting late. I got to Joliet, and it was getting late. So I'm looking for where am I going to stay tonight. And I go into my GPS, and I find motels. And I look at the stars, and I look at the names and the prices. And I figure, okay, I'll do Motel 6 again. That worked for me last time. Well, when I get there, it just doesn't look all that savory. Well, next is one that's quite pretty, and it said Budget Express Inn. And I said, okay, I'm going to go there. So I pulled in, and I noticed a sign on the door that said, "We call police," which I felt good about that. There's something going on that, I would be safe. And then I signed in, and the woman said to me as I was checking in, "Do you want to see the room?" And I said, "Why would I want to see the room? Nobody ever else asked me if I wanted to see the room. I just trusted it." Then as she gave me my key to get into my room, she also gave me the remote. The remote? How many hotels have you ever been to where the remote's not waiting for you in the room? Well, that should have been a clue. So it was, if you want to talk about bare basics, it was about as bare as the basics could get. And, but, I hate to say this, I have to admit it. For the first time, I did a bed bug check. I went online. How do you check for bed bugs? And I checked, and everything seemed okay. So I said, all right, I shall stay here. And I did my little loading my pictures and stuff, and got ready for bed. and went to sleep. And at 2 o'clock in the morning, I woke up. Now, I wasn't quite sure what woke me up at that moment, but it was something. So I tried to go back to sleep, put the TV on, watch. There wasn't a lot of choices. I said, just wasn't a lot of choices. And who knows? You don't want to watch news before you go to bed. I mean, no. So I put something on, and I'm laying there trying to go back to sleep. And then it started. A man in the lobby was, the only word I could use was bellowing. He was just bellowing F-bombs laced with a few pronouns and nouns and prepositions, and boom, 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 boom. I mean, he had the F-bombs down to an art form, and he was yelling. He wasn't mad, he wasn't screaming, he was just talking. And I thought I was going to lose my mind. And I'm like, what am I doing here? Never again. 3 stars. Never again. 4 or more. I ain't going there. Here's a matter of doing the math sometimes. What kind of service was I doing to myself for a matter of $20? For $20, could have had a whole lot better room. So I shall keep that in my mind as I travel along my journey. And so at one point, I'm sure that those who know and love me would not know this, but I actually opened the door and yelled out, "There are people trying to sleep in here." And that didn't help. Forgot for a while. The guy went outside apparently and came back in and started all over again. And so here I am this morning. New day, new start. Can't get on the internet in the hotel. Oh, it's there, but it's not. Video chatting just wasn't going to happen. So I figured, well, I'll go get breakfast. Well, Joliet, Illinois is not exactly like, a buzzing metropolis out where we live, even Middletown, if you want to call that a buzzing metropolis. So, no, they didn't have any Wi-Fi in the place where I went for breakfast. However, as bad as that breakfast I had in wherever in God's name I was on the first morning, this was the opposite. It was so good. So I look at the menu, and they have, I didn't want to do my usual hash browns and cottage cheese. I do that all the time. So I ordered crepes. An order is 3 crepes. And you could also get an order of 2 or an order of 1. Now, they also had potato pancakes. And I think as a Polish girl, it's kind of required that you like potato pancakes, because I totally do. I couldn't pass them up. I couldn't pass them up. So I ordered some. I figured, well, I'm not going to get the 3, the 3 crepes. That'd be too much. So I got 2 crepes. Got a banana crepe, and I got a cherry crepe. And half an order of potato pancakes. Now, and she had some cottage cheese. That made it right. When you see the pictures, when they ever arrived, they were like huge. Each crepe was like a flippin' burrito. I mean, it was big. And one of them had bananas, and one of them had cherries. And it was like, oh my God. And then the pancakes came, and there's these 3 big potato pancakes. And I'm like, to the lady, how'd you let me eat all this? And she kind of laughed. She said, well, you ordered it. So I asked for a to-go box right away. And I took half of each crepe, and I put it in the box. And she had asked me, do you want me to take one back? Do you want to, refuse one? And I said, well, if I send it back, they're going to throw it in the trash, right? And she said, well, I said, well, I don't put it in the trash. Do you have any places around here where there are people panhandling? And I don't like the word begging, because any one of us, there but for the grace of God go we, So she said, yeah, you can go by the Walmart. So I said, okay, now I got a plan. So I put the burritos. I put the crepes in the box. She gave me a box with a fork and a knife, so whoever got it could eat it. And then I started with the pancakes. Dear God, if you're ever in Joliet, Illinois, You go to Lewis's and you get their potato pancakes. They are killer. Oh, so good. So I got those. And I ate one, and I'm working on the other one, and I'm thinking to myself, should I put one of these pancakes in the box with the crepes? Maybe not. Do you help someone else to denying yourself? Well, by the time I was done with the second pancake, there was no way. I mean, I could have eaten it and gorged and been a pig, but I couldn't do that. So the pancake went into the box. And when I asked her where I might find people who could use the meal, she said, oh, up by Walmart. So, okay, plug that little thing into my journey. So I drove 2 miles to find Walmart, and I'm not seeing anybody who looks like they're panhandling. It's nothing worse than going up to someone, that's sitting on a bench waiting on a bus and saying, oh, do you want some breakfast? They probably wind up wearing the damn thing. So, no, I'm not doing that. So I go right in front of Walmart. I'm going right in front. And, as I was driving up, I thought to myself, it's funny that it's always men that you see panhandling. And that must be such a horrible experience for them. But would you believe there was a woman, and she was sitting on the bench with 2 dogs, and she had a blanket. And so I'm thinking there's a possibility she's homeless. So I parked. I got the breakfast in my hand. I took a deep breath, and I walked over to her, and I said, would you like some breakfast? And she said, I'd love some breakfast. So I gave it to her, and she was so happy, and I was so happy. And I'm walking back to my car, and I'm thinking, this is really cool. And I thought, wait a minute. And I got her a copy of my Secret of Sweetwater Stream book. And I brought it over to her and gave it to her. And I said, here's some food for your soul. And she was very happy to have it. What do you do for entertainment when you're homeless? So that's the way my day started. And I can only hope and pray that it will continue to do well. I have a little agenda of things I want to see today. And I want to get, I don't know, I'm thinking I'll probably be in Illinois still tonight. We'll see. I'm going to head now to the Route 66 Museum and Visitor Center, where I hope to lead my next route. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you for watching my video and follow me on my journey. And I hope you check in tomorrow and see what adventures I've had. God bless you, and a great day to you. Bye-bye.